Let's bring our jury in. All rise.
The jury enters the courtroom.
The government calls LAPD officer Christopher Ignacio.
Christopher Ignacio takes the stand as witness.
What is a radio call?
Someone calls 911 and it gets sent to next available LAPD unit on duty.
On December 22nd, 2011. What was your shift?
6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in a marked police vehicle.
What do you remember?
Got a call around 8 a.m., code 3 with lights and sirens to 8925 Hollywood Hills Road.
What did you find there?
An Escalade. I memorized the license plate.
Why?
I thought it could be involved in a crime the way it left as soon as we got there.
Why didn't you go after it?
We didn't have a crime yet. The front door was unlocked. We went in.
What did you see?
High-end watches and purses, some wrapped, some unwrapped. 2 detectives showed up. When we came out, I saw the same black Escalade now driving down the hill.
Then what?
Mr. Kid arrived in a Porsche.
You ran the plate of the Escalade?
Yes, it came back as bad boy records.
No further questions.
Cross-examination? Mr. Steele.
This was 13 years ago, right?
Yes.
You read your partner's report?
Yes.
The streets there are dead ends?
According to the map.
It's a beautiful neighborhood, right? Cul-de-sac?
Sure.
You don't follow the car as it drives away, right?
Right.
Did you see a Porsche?
I don't know.
Do you know the definition of a kidnapping?
Objection!
Sustained.
Were you told the homeowner was in the house shortly before you and your partner got there?
Objection.
Overruled.
The door was unlocked?
Yes.
There was no furniture upended, right?
No.
You called it a trespass, not a burglary, right? Because
Objection!
I think sustained.
no report of theft?
No.
If you thought there was a gun in the Escalade, you could have put out a BOLO, right?
Objection.
Overruled.
You didn't, right?
Right.
Any mention of security cameras?
I saw some.
Mr. Kid wasn't hyperventilating, right?
He was tense, I'd say.
Did you search his Porsche?
No.
It was 8:20 a.m., not 6:30 a.m., right?
Right.
Nothing further.
No redirect.
The government calls LA arson investigator Lance Jimenez. I'll place a binder in front.
Lance Jimenez takes the stand as witness.
How many fires have you investigated?
100 a year, everything between mansions to dumpster fires. LA is pretty crazy.
Did you respond as an expert to an auto fire at 8925 Hollywood Hills Road?
Yes, there was a cut in the roof of the Porsche.
What about inside the Porsche?
Burn patterns inside.
Any items?
A bottle on the front seat. A handkerchief burned. A lighter on the ground.
What hypothesis did you draw?
Molotov cocktail.
How did you think it got in?
Someone lit it, cut the roof, and dropped it in.
Let me show you some photos. This is the black Porsche, what was burned?
Yes.
What kind of bottle was used?
Oldie English 800 malt liquor.
And the wick?
A designer-type scarf, silky. In my opinion, this was targeted.
The partial DNA profile, was it consistent with a female contributor?
I was told that.
Do you know what it means?
No.
Do you know if it is possible to touch an item without leaving DNA?
Objection!
Sustained.
What happened to the print cards?
They were destroyed in 2012.
On whose orders?
Someone in LAPD.
Not you or anyone on your team.
I'm going to object to all of this. Can we have a sidebar?
Okay.
They return after a short sidebar.
Jurors, we are trying to sync up. Why don't we take a break?
The jurors exit the courtroom.
When I heard the questions, I assumed there was going to be line of cross-examination about the fingerprint cards, like about the DNA. But that does not appear to be the case, so I'm thinking of telling the jurors to disregard.
This is outrageous. We are considering what remedies to ask for. Let me speak with my colleague. They implied that someone in this courtroom was responsible for the destruction of the fingerprint cards.
They intended to attack the investigation.
Recess.
They return after a recess.
My intent is to strike from the record any testimony about the fingerprint cards and the destruction of them. I will note that the only answers were what the witness knew about the destruction. I sustained the objection to if it was abnormal.
Will the court tell the jurors that the answers are not to be considered?
I'll tell them that the questions and answers on the fingerprints are irrelevant to this case and not to be considered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
The jurors enter the courtroom.
Jurors, the questions and answers on the fingerprints are irrelevant to this case and are not to be considered by you. Please proceed.
Did you interview the owner of the Porsche?
Scott Kid.
Did you reach out to others?
I reached out to an assistant. Her name was Capricorn.
I'm going to object.
Rephrase.
Who did you reach out to?
Capricorn and Cassie Ventura.
Did Capricorn respond or assist?
No.
How did you reach out to Cassie?
Wasn't able by phone. Tried through a family member.
Did you reach her?
Never.
Were charges brought?
No, but I never closed the case. It's listed as inactive.
Nothing further.
Cross-examination.
There was a DNA hit on the glass bottle for female DNA, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember when the results came back?
Maybe 6 months.
The test on the bottle, it was important?
Yes.
What does it mean, partial DNA, female?
I have no idea. I was told if we had a suspect, we could test against it.
Any other DNA on the bottle?
Objection!
Rephrase.
DX852, just for the witness. That's a glove, right?
Yes.
Did you find another glove?
No.
Did you test the glove for DNA?
No, I understood it belonged to the owner. It was a driving glove.
Your premise was that the Molotov cocktail was dropped. Did you think the person who dropped it would have worn a glove?
Perhaps.
It would have been hot.
Only the wick.
The damage, it's on both sides of the bottle, right?
Looks like it.
Did Mr. Cudi have more than one Porsche?
I think he had a second one in the garage.
Why isn't it in your report?
It was not involved.
You were unable to reach Capricorn Clark or Cassie Ventura. When did you reach out?
In the first few weeks,
Are you sure? Tell us everything about these calls.
I believe Capricorn's brother answered and we disagreed.
And once Mr. Cudi told you it was his glove, you didn't investigate the glove anymore, correct?
I did not.
Nothing further.
Redirect.
When did you speak with Mr. Cudi?
Same day.
Nothing further.
Next witness.
The government calls Deontay Nash. Are you here under subpoena?
Yes,
Do you want to be here?
absolutely not.
What's your work?
Celebrity stylist
In 2008,
for Puff and Cassie
how'd you get hired to work for them?
through a Craigslist ad for Bad Boy Entertainment.
This photo, is it a fair and accurate portrayal of how you looked at that time?
Not even close.
It's a glamour photo?
Yes, I look amazing.
How often would you witness Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura interact?
At least once a week.
What did Mr. Combs call Ms. Ventura?
Ho, double C, baby girl, slut. He would call it an outright ho, a slut anyway.
How did she react?
Said,
Did Mr. Combs make threats?
yes, that he would beat her ass, that he'd send her sex tapes out.
How often would he say he would beat her ass?
Quite a few, it drove her crazy. She would be super emotional. She might stay in the house for days.
How often did Mr. Combs say you could not go out without his permission?
Twice. The first time we went to a gay club with Kyle and Adrian. Then we went to her LA apartment. Puff called and told her she better bring her ass to his house. She panicked.
What did you understand Mr. Combs was saying?
Objection.
Overruled.
She packed her stuff and went to her house.
Did you attend a Vanity Fair party?
Yes, Oscar's after party. In 2014 with Cassie, Puff was there.
How did she look?
She looked bomb. Her hair was
Objection.
Overruled.
Her hair was long. Puff picked me up and threatened me. I pinned her hair up.
She record music?
Often,
What was your role?
I helped to pick songs. I probably should have been called an executive.
Objection.
Sustained.
Her mixtape, was it ever sold?
No, it was put out free, but it did well a top download.
How much of her music was released?
I'm being generous to say 10%.
This would be a good place to break.
Jurors, you may break.
The jurors and Nash leave the courtroom.
Ms. Comey, what he'll say about 2013 is not about the tapes.
No.
Okay, I'll break.
They all return after the break.
We want to show Mr. Nash a photo of this afternoon's witness, Mia, without the screen in the gallery showing the photograph.
Bring back in Mr. Nash and then the jury. All rise.
How many times in person have you witnessed Mr. Combs be violent?
Quite a few.
This is a sealed exhibit. Without saying her name, do you recognize this person we'll call Mia?
Yes,
What were you and Mia helping Cassie pack for?
the OVO Fest in Canada.
Who came to the door?
Puff, he said, "Bitch, didn't I tell you to answer your phone?" Then he dragged her by the hair and hit her.
How hard was he hitting her?
Objection.
Overruled.
Very hard. We ran to the bedroom, but Puff pushed it open. He continued to attack Cassie with his fist.
What did you do to try to help Cassie?
I jumped on Puff's back. He threw me off. Mia too. Cassie's head hit the bed frame. She was bleeding, but Puff continued hitting her.
Where was Mia?
Getting towels.
What did Mr. Combs say to you, Mia and Cassie?
He said, "Look what y'all made me do." He said she'd go to a plastic surgeon.
With who?
D-Rock, he was Puff's security.
After that, when did you see her?
The next day, FaceTime or something like that. She had a gash in her eyebrow.
Were you once cooking with Cassie when Mr. Combs got violent?
Yes, Puff came.
What did Mr. Combs say?
He said, "Y'all better get out of my house." He was grabbing her by the hair. He pushed her out the door, then began to do the same to me. But I don't have hair. He popped me. He told me to go downstairs and wait. They came down and Puff was berating us. As we drove off, we got a phone call.
Objection.
New question.
Call from who?
Puff. He told us to stop and he came to the window. He said he put her sex tapes on the internet. Puff said he'd send her sex tapes to her parents' jobs and get them fired, that her brother was a bitch and that only he protected her.
What did you tell her?
That Puff is on the sex tapes too. She said, he is not, he was taping her with other men.
What did she say about wanting or not wanting to have sex with other men?
Objection.
Overruled.
That she didn't want to. I drove her to Sunset Boulevard to get a taxi.
Why?
Uber wasn't really a thing yet. Puff came to my house looking for her. He looked in my oven. I'm not sure why. Puff took my phone and Cassie called from a hotel. Puff said, "Let's go there." Bad boy staff stayed there.
What did Mr. Combs say?
He said, "Go get her." I went to Cassie's hotel room with D-Rock and Tony. She jumped up. She was frightened. She said she would jump off the balcony.
How high was it?
It wasn't the first floor. Downstairs, I saw 4 or 5 of Puff's security waiting. Puff told me, "You played me." I drove off, but Puff's security followed me. I turned off my lights and drove really fast. I went to the Universal Sheraton.
Did you go home the next day?
Yes, I found my backpack was stolen. It had $1,000 in it.
Why did you keep $1,000 cash?
So when Puff was mad, I could check into a hotel without giving my name.
What happened in 2015?
I saw Puff slap Cassie in the face. He said, "Get this bitch out of here."
What did you do?
Got her out.
The Perfect Match premiere, what did you see?
Cassie had a black eye.
When was Mr. Combs violent with you at a music video?
Yes, I was outside smoking a cigarette. Puff came and threw me on the car and started choking me out. Puff said, "Y'all keep going out."
Did you report anything to the police?
No, I was afraid of retaliation from Puff.
Did you get anyone on staff?
Christina called him KK.
What did she say?
That she would talk to him.
Did anything change?
No.
How often did you help Cassie hide?
Often.
What did Mr. Combs do?
He would blow our phones up. KK would too. She would say Puff was calm. Cassie would go back.
Did Cassie tell you she was going to a hotel with Mr. Combs?
Yes, weekly. She would pack toys.
Did she say she wanted to go?
Objection.
Overruled.
She said she didn't want to go.
Her 29th birthday, tell me.
Puff asked me should he surprise her on her birthday.
What did you say?
Girl, I was not about to tell him not to surprise her.
Did she use the word freak off with you?
Not like freak off, more like freak off.
Like a verb?
Yes.
Where did you go after the Blind Dragon?
875 Comstock, like 17A. Puff said, "Y'all gonna get some D tonight."
What did Ms. Ventura say?
That she didn't want to go, but he made her. They left the house. She was super high.
New Year's Eve 2017. Where were you?
With Cassie and the staff, all on the same floor of the hotel. Puff's room was at the end of the hall.
What did Mr. Combs tell you?
That Cassie had been asleep for 24 hours. I had to take her up. I had to wake her up.
Did she wake up?
She woke up for me.
What did Mr. Combs say?
That's he'd spent all this money, so she had to. Then there was a low-budget producer.
Nash laughed.
How many of your meetings with prosecutors did you end early?
Probably all of them.
Did you stay in touch with Mr. Combs?
Yes.
What was your tone?
Loving.
Why?
I don't hate him. It's not in me.
No further questions.
Break.
This witness has a flight back to LA tonight. We'll rebook if we have to, but if we could stay a little later and finish with him, I know he'd appreciate it.
I think we can. I told the jurors we might stay until 4.
The jury enters the courtroom.
We might stay until 4. Mr. Donaldson?
How are you?
Blessed.
When he met with the government, you had an attorney present?
Yes.
The subpoena didn't mean you had to go to their office.
Right.
You hired a civil lawyer, Mr. Dunn, to represent you, considering litigation against Mr. Combs.
No.
Does this document show that?
It's their assumption. But no. I have counsel to protect me. I don't do federal court.
On March 10th, 2025, did you not tell Ms. Comey that you are considering a civil complaint against Mr. Combs?
No.
DX1800. What is this?
Cassie in the video for the mixtape.
And 1801?
Cassie and Usher. This is the 2016 Bad Boy reunion show.
Did you pick out that dress?
I don't remember.
You didn't start as a celebrity stylist. It was that Mr. Combs introduced you to Cassie, right?
I met her, Mrs. Fine.
So it's Mr. Combs who made you a celebrity stylist?
Sure, go ahead.
I am going ahead. As a celebrity stylist, you pick clothes? Like for Mrs. Fine's wedding?
Yes.
Do you know Groovy Lou?
Yes.
As head of Bad Boy, it was in Mr. Combs' interest that his artist Cassie look good, right?
I suppose.
And Bad Boy paid for Cassie's studio time, right?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura can't go to the studio under Mr. Combs' pays. What is Young and Reckless?
A streetwear clothing brand. Cassie owned a part of it.
Mr. Combs had nothing to do with it?
He had to approve everything.
Wasn't Brianna Bongolan involved?
As stylist,
Who else were you styling for in 2016?
Cassie, Puff, Mace, and Lil' Kim.
Major artists. And on the mixtape, you were executive produce but got no credit. Meek Mill was on the mixtape?
Yes.
Pusha T?
Yes. Can I take a break?
Yes.
The jury leaves.
Mr. Donaldson, how much more?
No way I'll be finished by 4.
Did you know that before I told the jury it's before?
I didn't know.
Well, we'll go to 4.
I'll rebook.
Break.
They return.
Nice coat.
Thank you.
What size?
Not your size.
Right answer. Mr. Combs was the final decision making?
No, some of them look terrible.
You are friends with Ms. Fine?
Yes.
When's the last time you spoke with Bonna?
Yesterday.
Not about testimony, right?
Right. She saw it on the news.
When did you speak with Cassie?
Yesterday, I congratulated her on having the baby.
You saw her take drugs?
Cocaine, ecstasy, and MDMA.
Mushrooms and acid?
I'm not privy to that.
Not to get into your business, you have used cocaine?
Yes.
You smoked pot before meeting prosecutors?
Yes, and Maureen cut it short.
You told her you were high?
That I was smoking.
Making a video costs hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Not necessarily.
Who was Mia?
Puff's assistant.
You and Mia jumped on Mr. Combs to protect Cassie from him, right?
And to protect him from doing something worse.
And D-Rock tried to protect you and not protect Mr. Combs?
Yes.
We're at 4 p.m.
The jury leaves the courtroom.
Who were the witnesses after Mia?
We think she will go long, but after her, Enrique Santos.
After today, Mr. Agnifilo. Give you exhibits by 5.
We only get back to the office by then. We think Your Honor could let us meet with Mr. Combs in the SCIF here in the courthouse, under your Article 3 powers. We'd like the SIF every night until 10 o'clock.
Court art of Deontay Nash during the argument.
We are still ahead of schedule. We may even cut some witnesses. I think we'll rest in less than 6 weeks. We'd like to in the 2nd week of June. We might bleed over into the 3rd week.
I'll look at the requests to charge. Adjourned.